Naples, May 2008. After a teenage Roma girl was caught allegedly trying to steal a young baby, angry Neapolitans attacked and burned this makeshift Roma camp, forcing its residents to flee for their lives. But prejudice against the Roma is certainly not just an Italian problem. Right across the European Union, Roma communities are regularly treated with mistrust and contempt by the non-Roma majority.
The research shows that something around 70–80% of the average European population is completely anti-Roma. So this gap that you are talking about is huge. I mean, the policy talk and the reality of how much Europe cannot accept Roma is so big. It's such a drastic situation, not only mentally and human rights-wise and economically, as I mentioned, but also culturally. It's a huge loss for Europe.
And anti-Roma feeling is nothing new. In the Second World War, it's estimated that up to 500,000 Roma prisoners, like these people at the Belzec extermination camp in Poland, perished at the hands of the Nazis. It's thought the Roma began migrating towards Europe from India in around the year 1000. By the 14th century, records show them living on European soil. Today, there are an estimated 10 to 12 million Roma living in the European Union, roughly the same population as a medium-sized EU member state like Belgium or Greece. But despite the fact that the Roma have been Europeans for over 7 centuries, most of us still know very little about them. And what we think we do know is more often than not based on ignorance, prejudice and stereotypes. This has led to a situation where millions of Roma in the EU today face extreme levels of social deprivation. Unemployment in many Roma communities is rife, basic education is often lacking, and when it comes to healthcare, life expectancy is well below the EU average. Here in the Hungarian village of Csányi, an hour's drive east of the capital Budapest, Roma inhabitants live in desperate conditions.
Az a gond, hogy a magyar kormány eltusolja a roma telepeket. Tehát nagyon sok helyen elzárkóznak, és ugye próbálják úgy kiadni ezeket a dolgokat, hogy nincs roma telep, pedig van, és szét lehet nézni. Ha esik az eső, egy kicsit csapadékosabb az idő, nem lehet bejönni ide. Ha ugye gondok, betegek az idősek, gyerekek vannak, vagy gyerekszületés van, vagy akár meg vannak fázva, és orvos kell, vagy mentő kell, nem tudnak bejönni. Tehát 500 métereket kell gyalogolni, hogy ki tudjanak menni innét a sártelepről ezek az emberek.
In southern Spain, meanwhile, young Romanian Roma, Viorel, who works as a car park attendant and asked us not to mention his family name, is forced to live in this camp on a patch of waste ground.
Cam asta elman buki normalu, cam asta elman familia la ci, cam asta elman bukia quando mărțara că n-am mai avut cate, te avut decât în excursie s-ar avem se lumea, ei mi avut cate, eu un avenament de în excursie ta, cadea cam pe același material mă puteam de mărțara.
But amid all the difficulties, some progress is being made. Here in the Spanish city of Seville, Johnny Borges Silva, a young Spanish Roma, found a full-time job in this local butcher's shop thanks to help from an EU-funded project called Acceder.
Yo me informé porque mi tío fue ya una vez a Acceder y digo voy a ver si hay algo de trabajo, de cursillo y eso. Y fui y encontré el de carnicero y lo hice, me lo daron el cursillo. Estuve 6 meses y muy bien, gracias a eso, mira, pues estoy trabajando.
And more Roma people are creating their own businesses. In the Bulgarian village of Vazovo, Ivanka Yordanova set up a successful firm that makes embroidered fabrics, thanks to a local microcredit scheme specifically tailored to Roma people's needs.
Без помощта на Интегро наистина нямаше да стартирам. Много голяма помощ ми дадоха, в смисъл такъв, че ако те не бяха ми помогнали, аз нямаше да мога да си наема работнички, нямаше да мога да се взема материали, нямаше да мога да работя. Наистина голяма помощ ми дадоха Интегро.
Biza Elekov, himself a Roma, helps run the scheme that provided the firm's start-up funds.
The philosophy was to create a small model of people who have their own incomes, and after that idea was this model to be copied among other members of the Roma community.
And when it comes to improving Roma people's access to education, a vital step in ending Roma exclusion, things are also improving, albeit slowly. This student organisation in Bulgaria is helping more young Roma to go to university.
We collect the best students from the country and we support them with private lessons. Actually, we are giving them like scholarship, but not like really giving them the money on hand. We are paying their private lessons for additional courses to prepare themselves in order to enter the university.
Thanks to help from the scheme, Roma student Iriana Borisova and her brother Nasko are now studying at Sofia University.
Ромската студентска организация предоставя информация относно образованието в нашата държава. Тази информация е достъпна също за роми, както за нас, мисъл и за други етноси. Също така тя организира и кандидат студентски курсове, чието заплащане е изцяло тяхно. И така един вид улеснява нашето обучение и ние можем свободно да избираме какво искам да учим и къде, в каква насока искаме да се реализираме.
And efforts are being made elsewhere. These women in the Hungarian village of Pamaz are taking part in an adult literacy class organised by the local Roma self-government. Of course, centuries of ingrained discrimination against the Roma will not be eradicated overnight. But in some EU countries, the authorities seem to be realising that more has to be done to tackle the problem. In 2003, the Bulgarian government created the Commission for Protection Against Discrimination. Much of its work today centres on discrimination against the Roma. Roma journalist Violeta Draganova has brought a complaint about a local swimming pool that refused access to her and her family.
Надявам се, в момента очакваме всъщност решението на комисията и аз се надявам това решение да бъде в моя полза, т.е. да се произнесе, че наистина имало някакъв факт на дискриминация спрямо мен, сестра ми и племенника.
One of the biggest problems many Roma face is a lack of visible role models, members of their community who have managed to find successful, fulfilling jobs. This Budapest radio station, whose team of journalists and technicians is almost entirely Roma, is doing its part to tackle that problem. One of the reasons there seem to be so few Roma role models is that the Roma's contribution to European culture is often not recognised.
Roma culture has influenced very much the European nations. The cultures of the European nations. Unfortunately, the majority has the luxury to pick and choose these elements from the Roma culture, which can make popular this nation or this country, or from which they can really benefit. People like Roma music, they like Roma dancing, but if you ask them would they like to live together with Roma, would they accept to live next to Roma, they do not accept.
Gabi Jimenez is a French Roma artist and a committed Roma rights activist.
Voilà, les expulsions dans les terrains en France. Ça c'est les Roms de Bessancourt, un petit village à côté là, une petite ville à côté, où la gendarmerie et la police sont arrivés, ils ont expulsé tous les Roms des pays de l'Est et bing, vas-y dégage, des Roumains. Alors que ce sont des ressortissants européens.
In 2007, Gabi was one of a group of Roma artists whose work was displayed at the prestigious Venice Biennale, one of the world's most important contemporary art events.
Moi je pense que tous les Roms qui avons participé à la Biennale, nous sommes avant tout, nous nous reconnaissons entre nous non pas comme des Roms, mais comme des artistes. Donc on parle entre nous comme des artistes, et on parle avec les autres d'égal, d'artiste à artiste.
If life is to improve for the next generation of Europe's Roma, things must change. The situation's not hopeless. Back in Hungary, for example, the experience of this primary school in the village of Csabanka shows how non-Roma and Roma children can play and learn together happily.
Nincs terveim, de tanulni szeretnék idénre is. És nem szeretnék nem futni. És úgy, hogy a osztálytársaim se bukjanak meg egyikőjük se. Ha lesznek családtaim is, akkor fogok anyukámmal, hogyha öreg lesz segíteni, majd akkor fogok nyitni, hogyha úgy lesz, akkor egy cukrásztát, meg hogyha úgy lesz, akkor egy lovardát.
But such success stories remain the exception, not the rule. We still have a very long way to go before we can truly say things are improving for Europe's Roma. But with will and determination from both the Roma and non-Roma communities, change is possible.